Good evening, Wizards Nation. I figured I should go live before the game starts at 3:30. You know, we're playing the Knicks today at 3:30. It's the last game of the Summer League. Let's get this thing over with, injury-free. But yeah, man, I think I should go live because there's this one dude who's been catching, I feel like, most of our attention. And it's regarding his defense. And it's Jamir Watkins. Is my mic working? I don't even know. I haven't gone on live in a while. But yeah, man, Jamir Watkins, this is a guy who's not producing as much offensively, and coming out of Florida, that wasn't really his thing yet. But defensively, he is raising eyebrows. He recently recorded 8 steals, a summer league record. 8 steals, ladies and gentlemen. 5 rebounds. I believe he had 3 blocks as well. 11 stocks. Held strapped down VJ Edgecombe. And it just has me thinking we drafted him with pick number 43 in the second round. And what can he do with us? I mean, not what can he do with us, because right now he's in a 2-way contract with us, but what? Obviously, it's just summer league. We don't want to take it to a full account, but you see flashes of defensive brilliance with him. If he can just raise that 3-point percentage, because as of right now in summer league, he is not doing that well, honestly, in that aspect. Nobody's joined yet. They're like, man, fuck this guy. Because I read a stat here. In a summer league, Jamir Watkins has been... defensively, he's averaging 3.5 steals. More impressive Watkins defense than any other player on the team this summer. So, yeah. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that, Brian. In the summer league, he's averaging 3.5 steals, 1 blocks per game in 4 games played, coming up with no fewer than 2 takeaways in any of these outings. This article says that from Wizard of All saying that he had 7 steals, but it looks like online they're saying he had 8 steals against the game in the 76ers when he recorded 8 steals being a summer league record. But there was a stat here saying how much he is currently 11 of 39 from the field though offensively, and 3 of 21 from beyond the arc. 3 of 21. Now again, this is just summer league and it's only a short stint. This isn't the entire indicative of who he's going to be and project to be in the NBA. But I'm just thinking, if he can get that 3-point percentage to 35, 36, we got something in him. Defensively, I'm at the point where I'm just that's not... There's people comparing him to Lou Dort. Lou Dort is 6'4" with a 6'8" wingspan. Jamir Watkins is, they're saying 6'5". Bleacher Report says 6'7". I think he's 6'6". 6'6" with a 6'11" wingspan. I'm not saying Jamir's going to be better than Lou Dort. Of course not. Much respect to Lou Dort. Much respect to Lou Dort. Lou Dort was an integral piece and a historically great defensive team with the OKC championship team. So the thing about that comparison that I keep seeing, initially I was just nah, let's just freaking calm down. Let's not buy too much stock into the summer league performance. But now I'm just It just has me thinking. And of course, Lou Dort can shoot. Yeah, I'm talking about defensively, though. Defensively. Yeah, Lou Dort, I believe he shot, was it 40% this year? I think he shot 40% for the 3 this year. Hold on. $41. Yeah, I saw that. 41. On damn near 6 attempts per game. So, yeah. But I'm talking about defensively, though. But, look, let's read this article right here real quick. This is from Bleacher Report, like his scouting report when he first got out. In college in Florida, 42% from the field and 32% from the three. Like I said, just get it to 35. To 35. His playmaking ability, in my opinion, is a little underrated. I'm not saying he's going to be the primary secondary ball handler in a lineup, because I don't know. His rebounding is solid as well. It's just the shooting. Just stand there, catch and shoot threes. Just stand there, have defenses respect you. And then we got something with him. Never mind the age. He's 24 years old. I'm not worried about that. He's in a two-way deal as of right now. With the way things are going, he could be promoted within the season. But, I'm just thinking, man, like, holy, like that trade. Because remember, we got this pick by trading back with the Will Riley trade. Going back from the 21. We got two future second round picks, and Jamir Watkins. That trade is looking like money right now. It's looking like money. But yeah, man, like I don't know, man. You guys let me know what you guys think. Like, in my opinion, I'm just like, I'm not. Again, I keep saying this, but I don't want to freaking buy too much stock in this. But I don't know. I want to say I'm reassessing. Like, how can I say this? I'm not going to the point where I'm just like, I got to reassess my total evaluation on him, or my initial evaluation on him when we first drafted him. Because it's only been a couple of games in Summer League. But if he continues this performance onto the regular season, or even preseason and training camp, especially defensively, and he's shown, I'm at the point right now where I'm just like, dude, just give him a standard contract. Fuck it. Just give him a standard contract. He's 24 years old. What is he going to do in the G League? Like, he already, give him a standard contract. Let's make sure we reach 15, and let's go from there. But like that, I did not. I mean, you would think a dude who's 24 years old, his game is already seasoned enough that he's able to play in his rookie year in the NBA, and he's showing that so far. That's what I'm thinking right now with Jamir Watkins, man. Listen right here, like I said, 6'5" right here. In the previous website, it said 6'7". I think he's 6'6". He doesn't look like he's 6'4". Like Lou Dort is 6'4" and with a 6'8" wingspan. 6'6", 6'11" wingspan. Average 18 points, 18.4 points per game. 5.7 rebounds, 2.4 assists, 0.5 blocks, 1.2 steals. Like I said, on shooting splits of 42 from the field and 32 from the three. They haven't compared to Karis LeVert here. The thing about Jamir that I keep seeing, like he relies too much on his strength. But he has that build. He has that bulk. Watkins is more, oh yeah, definitely. Definitely. Watkins is definitely more ready than AJ Johnson. I mean, he should be. AJ is about to be 20. Or he's already 20. Jamir's 24. But yeah, I definitely agree with you right there, Rich. But, they're saying, similarities to Karis LeVert, strengths, physical tools, secondary playmaking. Like I was thinking, I don't think he'll ever be the secondary ball handler or even playmaking, but at least he'll have some playmaking abilities. Defensive versatility, yeah, he can guard 1, 2, 3, maybe even some small ball 4. Scouts had an easier time picturing Watkins as a strong NBA defender after watching him strip ball handlers and blow up plays off the ball during May's combine scrimmages. Watkins can defend multiple positions, and on the other end of the court, he uses his physicality to blow up through contact at the rim. Weaknesses, shooting consistency. It's just, and reliance on strength. Yeah, that's one thing I noticed definitely in Summer League, his reliance on strength. Defensive consistency. I think Watkins is also self-aware. I think he knows that if he's going to stick in the NBA, it's going to be because of his defense. I think the defensive consistency, that's the least of my worries. As a matter of fact, I wouldn't be surprised if this is like already eradicated within his mind. He knows. That's the only reason why he's getting these minutes too. Like, if he's ever going to stick in the NBA, it's because of his defense and obviously being a 3-and-D player. Like, yeah, that's gonna be his primary concern. Like, as soon as he steps on the court, he's gonna do tasks to guard the toughest opponent. Like, no, I'm not. Yeah, defensive consistency. It's a whole like in college. Like going from a guy who's averaging 18.4 points per game, that offensive workload is gonna be taken off his back. Like now, his thing is just defense. He doesn't have to worry about scoring. Like, no, that's the least of my worries right now with his defensive consistency. As much of a luxury as it has been to be a small forward who uses size and strength at the rim, Watkins often leans into his strength too much. Definitely noticed that Summer League. It'll benefit him at the NBA level to continue building up that secondary playmaking resume he has begun to display. Man. Yeah, man. I saw somebody, I think it was on Twitter, say that Watkins could not compete, but Watkins could take minutes away from Coulibaly. And in my head, I'm just like, I think that's a little bit, I think we're going too far with that one. I think we're going a little bit too far. Because first, as of right now, Watkins is in a two-way contract. Let's go step by step, baby steps. Let's go first, produce in training camp and in preseason. Force the hand of the coaches. Force them to give you that, just give them a standard deal. Give you in the roster, in-season promotion. And then, but what I'm thinking is, in the second half of the season, after the trade deadline, dudes like A.J. Johnson, dudes like now I'm throwing in Jamir Watkins, I can definitely see them get big, 20 to 25 minutes a game. I wouldn't be surprised if veterans on our roster, they're showcased and then hopefully, I don't know, whatever we can get from them in a trade deadline. Guys like McCollum. Guys like, I don't know about Middleton. Smart. Even though Smart, there is a chance that he's traded beforehand. But the second half of the season is going to be, it's going to be, dude, if you're 25 or over, you're cooked. You're not going to be in the rotation at all. Second half of the season, we might go 76ers style tanking if we're winning in the first half of the season. Not even winning, but we have some sort of, we won a certain amount of games that's not, enticing for our draft lottery odds. But man, Jamir freaking Watkins. Yeah, completely agree. Completely agree. In all three of them, actually. In all three of them. Not just Jamir. You see, obviously, with Trey. You see it with Trey, obviously. With Will Riley, you see the flashes. Holy. Obviously, Will Riley's supremely raw. But you see the flashes. And then with Jamir, Trey's on offense. With all those complete flashes that we expected him to see. And it's nice to see it. 3-level scorer. With Jamir is just completely on defense. Trey's the offensive hub. Jamir's the defensive hub. Hey, man. This rookie class. Whatever. We play at 3:30 against the Knicks. It's the last game in the Summer League. But, whatever happens then, I'm at the point where I'm just check. Summer League was a success. Most importantly, because we left, without a major injury. I know Trey Johnson and Will Riley had those, small nagging injuries. But that's the most important thing. You saw flashes, and that's all that matters. No, that's all that matters. Now, if these guys are the real deal, they'll translate it onto the preseason training camp, and then obviously the regular season. Because there's been a lot of dudes in Summer League who's balled out, but then come push to shove, they don't show up when it matters the most, when it comes in the regular season, all that stuff. But with these three dudes, the reason why I'm not that worried about that at all is because, they're all wired differently. They're all three guys who are supremely competitive. They want to be great, and if you're not like that, if you're not wired like that mentally, Will Dawkins has no interest in you. So these three dudes want to be great. They want to contribute. Not even that, they want to have a successful NBA career. They care about basketball. The days of Nick Young are over. The days of JaVale McGee, those are far, far away. This is a new era. We got dudes who are hungry, young dudes. Kudos to Will Dawkins. Again, this draft class is super early to judge, obviously, but the signs are pointing in the right direction. put this article up. This one's from Greg Finberg, highly touted dude, much respected. I respect the shit out of him. I pulled it up mainly because of his, two-way deal. Two-way deal. That means that Jamir Watkins can't play as of right now more than 50 games in the regular season. 50 games is his cap. But that doesn't mean that could stop them from giving him an in-season promotion or a promotion, giving him to the standard contract. And if that's the case, then obviously he can play whenever the hell he wants, whenever Coach Keefe allows him to. Same thing, like I said, 43% from the field, 32% from the three. Watkins hang his hat on defensive end, often picking up from 94 feet to disrupt opposing guards. Love to see that. Also, I feel like many people have brought this up, but Watkins with Marcus Smart, Jamir Watkins with Marcus Smart leading the way with Jamir. That's one thing I'm just like, we are building a team that, defensive identity, like defense comes first. Even when dudes like Trey Johnson being there, who's not known for his defense. Even when dudes whose defenses are still developing, like Bub Carrington's defense. We got two dudes in the starting five who are just primarily known for their defense, in Bilal Coulibaly and Alex Sarr. And then we're just, you see in every single interview clip, Will Dawkins just dogging on Trey Johnson, just saying, bro, you got to fix your defense, bro. You ain't shit right now. That defense must change. And you saw it. Trey Johnson, he's taking it seriously in Summer League. He's going over screens. I'm loving this right now. But if you can keep Marcus Smart, just keep him. I still feel like even if we do keep him, even if we keep him, we're going to trade him in a trade deadline. Or if we trade him now, it's another thing. I just want his presence to be felt. I want it to permeate around, at least in training camp. Just at least in training camp, instill those defensive principles in these young bucks. You have to instill it at a young age. I feel like I'm talking like a parent, but with kids. I mean, I don't have a kid, but I got a freaking dog and a fat ass cat. I got them when they were young. You trained them when they're young so that they know this is right, this is wrong. Oh shit, I'm comparing our rookies to dogs and cats. No, not like that, but I'm like, you gotta instill this identity early on. Marcus Smart could be a huge boost to that. The only thing I think about was Marcus Smart is he's gonna get the minutes. People are gonna be pissed off. If Marcus Smart stays, he's gonna take AJ Johnson's minutes. And in my opinion, AJ Johnson's supremely raw. I think people right now are just a little bit too overhyped on him. I like AJ Johnson, but I predict that he's gonna play more in the second half of the season. The first half of the season, especially if Marcus Smart's here, I think AJ's not gonna see the court as much. He's not. Even though, and this is coming from an AJ Johnson support. I like AJ Johnson. I'm not one of those dudes who think that AJ Johnson's a all-star or superstar, like some people think. To each their own. Hopefully he can be that. Obviously, I'm gonna root for anybody who's wearing the Wizards jersey. But let's go step by step first with AJ Johnson. But realistically speaking, Smart's gonna get the backup PG minutes. With Watkins signed to a two-way deal, it's possible Vucevic returns to the Washington on a standard contract, although that could take the Wizards to 17 standard contracts. We got some moves to make. So yeah, Malachi Brown, Wesley, Brown, waive them. I'm not one for somebody to lose their job, but they're gonna get paid anyways. But still, I'm at that point where I'm just I let me check Twitter before we got, any moves dropped while I'm over here freaking rambling on YouTube. Nothing really happened. We're playing at 3:30. That's the only thing that, people are talking about. No. No. Got to get Smart Middleton out of here. I think Middleton's going to stay. Veteran presence. Smart. I think Smart's. I keep thinking to myself, I think Smart's going to be. Because you got to put yourself in his shoes. Like, this is his contract year to get his last big payday before he retires. He's going to want to play. He's going to want to win. I don't know. I think Smart might go. Might. You already saw the reports. But might be closer to training camp. Maybe in the beginning of the season. I don't know. But yeah, man. I want to see these dudes play, man. I want to see Jamir play. Hopefully the rest of this offseason, he's just locked in the gym working on his 3-point. That's all we need from him. Bro, just stay there at the corner 3. Shoot hundreds of them on a daily basis. You shot 32% from the 3 at Florida. That's not going to cut it. Even if you are godly on defense, that's not going to cut it. That's not going to cut it. Get it to 35. And then if he gets to the 35, 3-and-D player, I'm already thinking like, oh shit, where's he gonna not even fit? Obviously, if he's that dude, we're gonna have to find a way to fit him. But it's a good problem to have. Like I said, we're the Washington Wild Wings, and I freaking love that. You have to have the wings nowadays. We saw the Pacers. That's the problem. Like you got Champagny there. You got Cam Whitmore now. We got Coulibaly. Will Riley. Corey Kispert, even though I think Corey Kispert got to go. No offense to Corey, but he just got to go because there's no space for him. And I like Corey Kispert. He's a good dude. He has a nice mustache, but sometimes you just gotta trade the mustaches. Shave the mustache. Corey Kispert to Portland. Corey for, I don't know, Robert Williams. You might have to be like a deal like Corey Kispert to like a Jordan Poole deal, like just cap space. At this point, if you can't even get a second for him, you might just settle for cap space, and that's honestly probably even more valuable. Because Corey Kispert, he's just, granted, it's an affordable deal, but at the end of the day, it's a long-term deal. I believe 4 years left. Granted, the last year is a club option deal, but he's making $13 million a year. But who is our starting center? Sarr. It looks like, I think. Even though, I myself, I want to see him play a little bit of 4. Sarr. Bagley. I think you need to sign one more dude there, honestly. Just one more dude. For insurance. Because Bagley is, injury concerns are very concerning. But man, let me just end this stream soon. I feel like I do streams a little bit too long. Jamir Watkins, man. I initially, when we first drafted him, I was like, bro, he reminds me of Deshaun Stevenson. And I'm kind of like still sticking to that, honestly, a little bit. But if we got Deshaun Stevenson for pick number 43, we went back 3 spots, got a Deshaun Stevenson and 2 future second-round picks, Will Dawkins cooked. He cooked, and of course, he still got his man at 18, and at 21, that he would have gotten prior. Will Riley. That trade is looking like money as each day passes by. Like, that was a hell of a trade, man. Hell of a trade. Even though at that camp, some of y'all might know, I wanted Newell. I wanted Asa Newell. I was like, who the fuck gonna be big for us? We need a big. And I knew he was playing good in the summer league too. He was the big thing with him was his three. And he was showcasing it. I was like, fuck. But so was, Will Riley. So was Jamir Watkins. So I'm not going to be that butthurt. But Newell was balling in the summer league, man. Granted, it's just summer league again, But, I like the move. I really like that move, though. We got future second round picks. And who's to say what we know what Will Dawkins does with those second round picks? We see already. Like, we traded some for Cam Whitmore. Don't underestimate the value of the second round pick, man. I wish I could tell how long I've been on for. 25 minutes. Huh. But yeah, man. Really liking this move. Really liking Jamir Watkins. And it's come to the point where now I'm just like, I'm leaning towards just like, all right, let's just give him a standard contract and let's move forward. Enough with the buffoonery. The two-way deal. He's 24. Let's give him a standard. Let's give him some minutes. Let him showcase. Vooch off the bench. Yeah, he's on. Yeah, I mean he's on a two-way as well, but he might get promoted. There's a lot of moves right now that have to be made. A lot of moves. We have to cut down to 15, and on top of that, we got to make sure, I think this Corey Kispert thing is holding up some stuff. I can't envision something, because if Corey comes back and he plays, he's gonna get those minutes. They're gonna have to showcase him, and he's gonna get minutes obviously over Jamir. He's gonna get minutes even over Cam Whitmore. We don't want that. I don't want that. But realistically speaking, we have to showcase him if we want to trade him. Because if we don't showcase him, that means that we don't. We keep lowering his trade value. Because remember, he ended the season. He had a down season last year, and if we don't showcase him at all, we may end up being stuck with him and his contract. And we don't want that. I'm at the point with Corey. It's just like, unfortunately, I wish him well. I wish Corey Kispert the best of luck moving forward. I like him. But he doesn't fit our short-term goals. And I don't think he also fits in our long-term goals. He's not in either of the timelines. Dudes like Jamir Watkins right now is just showing, hey, man, you're going to be forced to give me minutes. Cam Whitmore. We didn't give up those picks to ensure he sits on the bench with us as well. I want Cam to get as many minutes as possible to showcase as much as he can. You got Jamir, Will Riley now. It's just like, to me, I don't know. But Jamir Watkins, man. Kudos to Will freaking Dawkins. That was a hell of a move. But yeah, man, I'm going to end the stream here. I feel like stream went okay. Watkins made a big leap 2024-2025, earning a second-team All-ACC honors after showcasing his versatility on both ends. He filled the box scores in all areas using physicality to create advantages in transition and the half court. He's most effective attacking downhill using his strength. There he goes again. Aggressiveness to challenge defenses. However, his outside shot remains inconsistent and his defensive focus can waver. That I'm not worried about at all. Defensive focus, like I said, we talked about it earlier in the stream. I think Jamir Watkins is a self-aware dude. Look, we got Bleacher Report ranked Watkins number 34 on their board. This is by Jonathan Wasserman. We know who that is. We got him at 43. Just saying. Highly intrigued. I think I'm going to do a more... After Summer League's over today, I got some videos to make. I'm dropping a video today on Bradley Beal. I feel like some people are going to get pissed off about that. I mean, I like Bradley Beal, but I understand they hate. But I just want to say my 2 cents on that. I'm going to say that Bradley Beal, one of the worst contracts of all time in NBA history. One of the worst. He didn't deserve it. He was being a bit of a diva towards the end. But you got to separate now. Well, the Suns pretty much did it for him, in my opinion. Beal from the contract. Because now Bradley Beal going to the Clippers on a 2-year, $11 million deal. First year guaranteed. I believe it was a player option. Brad now all of a sudden went from having one of the worst contracts of all time to now one of the best value contracts in the entire league with the 2-year, $11 million deal. And I feel like people are still shading on him for having that contract and his play never living up to that contract, nowhere near living up to that contract. And they're shitting on him and tarnishing, not even, fuck it, like, I don't want to say it's like legacy, but like just attaching the contract to the name when in reality now he has already disattached his contract to his name. Like, just the Clippers, I think, I think the Clippers got a real one. Like, they may have gotten a steal with Bradley Beal. I think Bradley Beal is going to replicate Norman Powell's season last year. I think Bradley Beal is going to, and Norman Powell had a borderline all-star year last year with the Clippers. Averaged 22 points. Granted, playoffs, kind of nowhere to be found with Norman Powell. And I feel like that's also they didn't want to pay him. But now they got Bradley Beal. I think Bradley Beal is going to replicate the same thing that Norman Powell did. The Clippers, man, the Clippers, I thought they should have made the conference finals this year, but like, hey man, the Clippers are looking. The main thing with the Clippers is the injuries. Obviously with Kawhi, obviously with Beal, Harden, and age. Gilbert, Wall, Beal, all stars of lucky contracts. I agree. I'm going to say this too. I'm dropping the video possibly within an hour. Video's already done. I'm just, it was a short video. I should have, but I'm saying it right. Like, Beal, man, that contract was horrific. And what Tommy Shepard did, giving him the no trade clause and giving Beal all the leverage when we should have traded him in 2019. When he was 26 years old, when we could have gotten a lot of assets in return for him, when we could have jump-started our rebuild. Granted, one thing I keep thinking to myself is, like, had we done that, Tommy Shepard would have been drafting the picks that we got from Bradley Beal. So we could have done that, shot ourselves in the foot, and then we still would have been nowhere. So, it all depends on who's making the GM decisions. Maybe everything all worked out for the best. Maybe everything worked out for the best. Now we got to do Will Dawkins, who's competent. He can do his thing in the draft night. Who's to say we would have drafted fucking James Wiseman? Got a top 3 pick. James Wiseman. Or who's to say we would have fucking got LaMelo Ball or something like that? I don't know. It's just a lot of ifs and whatever. But, I'm just saying, man. I understand the hate that he got towards the end. Beal was being too loyal. Yeah, he was. He wanted to win here. But at the same time, he's being a little greedy. And his agent cashed out on it. No trade clause, man. Are you serious? Him and LeBron? But anyways, that's over with now. And now Beal is out of that. And now Beal is on a contract that's 2 years, $11 million. Say what you want. He deserves all the hatred from the past. Not him personally, but like the contract. And he never even living up to it. But now, that's a fresh, clean start. 2 years, $11 million. 50% from the field last year. 40% from 3. 17 points. On a low usage rate. Now he has a competent PG in Harden now, who's going to set him up. A little bit, possibly like Wall did a little bit early. I mean, I don't know. Fast break. I still will take Harden setting me up than Devin Booker or Kevin Durant when they were doing last year. But still, I think Beal's coming in for a comeback season, y'all. I think Beal's coming back for a comeback, and he's only 32. He's 32. He should be a fresh 32 because he's barely played since 2023. You got to call a spade a spade. He's barely played. The man played his last 3 years with us. I believe he played 40 games, 60 games, and 50 games. Barely played. And he still got that contract. It's absurd. Tommy Shepard. That's all on Tommy Shepard. And Ted Leonsis. Those two deserve all the blame for that. It is what it is. And Will Dawkins, our shiny knight, came in and traded Beal when it was an impossible task. And not only traded Beal, but we actually had fine assets in return. We got the Suns' first-round pick swaps when it's going to be vital. And the Suns have to pay Beal, I believe it's $20 million for the next 4 years. 5 years, sorry. 4 or 5. I'll confirm that. So they're going to be cap-strapped. So they can't improve their team. They just signed Devin Booker to a $70 million a year contract. Yeah. I'm just saying, kudos to Will Dawkins yet again with the draft looking like the one Trey Johnson, Will Riley, and Jamir Watkins, who the stream was about. No more here freaking rambling about Tommy Shepard. Tommy Shepard always ends up in my streams. But kudos to Will Dawkins. I'm going to end the stream with this. Kudos to Will Dawkins, man. I know there's been small bumps in the road with him. Small bumps. I'll say they're like speed bumps. Small speed bumps. Make sure we're not going off the rails. We should have traded Kyle Kuzma earlier. Okay, whatever. Tyus Jones. But, man, highly impressed with Will Dawkins. The man can draft, even though it's still too early to draft to evaluate our grade class or to give him a final grade. But man, just give us the ping pong balls one more year. We're gonna be off and rolling. But yeah, man, thank you very much for everybody to hear me ramble about this freaking thing. If you enjoyed the stream, please like and subscribe. I truly appreciate it. Bradley Beal video coming soon, possibly within an hour, hour and a half. It's a bit short. It's like a 9-minute video. It ain't shit, you ain't gonna want. But yeah, man, take care, everybody. Go Wizards at 3:30 at Monumental Sports Network, I believe. Playing against the Knicks, the last game of the Summer League. Make sure it's injury-free. Let's do this.